Hi, my name is Boris, and in this video we're going to write 5 powerful bass lines in Ableton. These are some of the most crucial patterns you need to know no matter what genre you're making. Before we get into the video, if you like what we are doing on this channel, make sure to subscribe. We've got more content about Ableton Live coming up. If you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all of the foundations of music production, check out our Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course. And if you're looking to learn writing powerful patterns even more in depth, make sure to see the Music Theory for Melodic Techno and House course, which gives you all the knowledge you need for writing professional sounding tracks. To see all of that, check the video description. Alright, so let's get started. Pattern number 1 is going to be a melodic techno pattern from our project called Journey. I'm just going to duplicate these patterns, remove the clips, and just give ourselves brand new empty MIDI clips here. Alright, so here we have a velocity sensitive wavetable instrument. You can see that the velocity is linked to the amp. We're just going to be writing simple 16th notes, but we're going to be adding some velocity over here. Here we have a single 16th note, C#1. Let's duplicate it a bunch of times. I'm going to be taking this note, these two, and just making them much quieter. Now that we have this pattern, let's duplicate it over 4 bars. So we have sort of accent notes. If we disabled the other notes, it would sound like this. So this is a nice, groovy, offbeat sort of pattern, and we're just creating that with simple velocity. For the second part, we just need to go 4 semitones down. And we're all set as for this track. Now, as for the bass plug, we have also a wavetable device. Alright, so let's just start writing this pattern. Also, we're choosing 16th notes, so let's zoom in on the first bar. And we're also starting from C#1. But let's move this note over to the right, and let's play it with our first bass. And we're just creating sort of a counter groove over here. This offbeat position, this works really well. And as for the second bar, we're just going to add a different pattern. So it's quite similar, but we're just adding this note over here, sort of repeating this note like this. We can take these notes, duplicate them 4 times, and as for the last 4 bars, just going down 4 semitones. And on top of this, we can also adjust the filter here. Originally, we had this curve, so we can just copy and paste that. We're just raising it towards every 4 bars. All right, and with the drums and the synths, alright, you get the idea. That would be bassline number 1 for today. Alright, so let's listen to the second pattern. This one is called Do You Remember? And it's a melodic house track. Let's just move over these MIDI clips, and I'm just gonna create a 4-bar pattern. Let's take a look at the synth itself. So we have quite a simple sound, a saw wave with some erosion to make it sound a bit more analog, overdrive, OTT as well, and some sidechain compression too, but mostly it's just a very warm sounding saw wave. Alright, so we're starting off with C2, also 16th note grid over here. This sidechain is making these notes louder here than the notes that play with the kick drum, so that's how it bounces. We could even do this, and it's already bouncy, but we can add some alterations. And we can just take this pattern, duplicate it 4 times here. We can duplicate the entire clip. And as for the second clip, we're just raising it to E. We can duplicate these 2 and let's play it with all the rest. Alright, so as you can hear, really simple pattern, but very effective and groovy and fits the genre very well. Alright, let's listen to pattern number 3. We have a modern melodic techno track. This one is called Celestial Body, and let's give it a listen. Alright, and we have a rolling bass line over here, very popular pattern. Let's write it from scratch. So, just making a 2-bar pattern actually, it's not gonna be long. Sound is quite simple with some saturation, nothing crazy over here, just a bit of resonance for that grit. So also once again we're doing 16th notes. We're getting started with G1, but actually we could just do this. And I'm going to be moving some of these notes up an octave. And you can freely experiment here, but we're gonna start off from this pattern. And actually, we could loop this entire region. And we also have this track in a group with some EQing, compression, and this volume pump created with shaper and utility. So this is just doing a bit of side chaining. And actually we could just extend it over these 8 bars. And it's a very, very simple sound. You can modify it in a lot of ways. You can add changes in some sections. Obviously you can choose different notes depending on the chord progression and the scale. It's a very simple and effective pattern. Pattern number 4 is going to be a tech house track. Let's play it. Alright, I'm just going to, once again, move these patterns over, and we're gonna just create blank MIDI clips here. Alright, so let's zoom into bar 1, and we're choosing a 16-note grid. And getting started from the bass track, just wanted to mention that this track also has a shaper on it, and the digital sound just comes from FM synthesis inside Wavetable. Alright, so zooming on to bar 1, and we're getting started with G0, so quite low. Alright, so this is our first pattern. Just 3 notes and another one. And here we're gonna do something different. Alright, we can extend this one over, extend these 2 as well, and this one. And now what we could do is select some of the notes and go to humanize, and you can actually add just randomness with placement here. Maybe moving this note a bit to the right and making this note shorter so that we have some space here as well, so that the bass line is more bouncy and dynamic. That would be our first pattern. We can copy this pattern over 4 times. For example, we can delete this note, as well as here. And we can do like a turnaround at the end of these 4 repeats, just descending chromatically here. Very simple. And that's our entire pattern, so we can just loop it and actually even copy it over to the bassline noise track, which is just some bright frequencies with a detuned saw wave pretty much. And we can also add this volume pump onto this bassline noise. Let's play it with the rest. Alright, it works well for tech house. So FM bass sounds, a bit of swing or a bit of humanization, some gaps, and just descending chromatically, that just adds this characteristic tech house vibe. Alright, so the final pattern for today is a techno track, a bit more aggressive one called Eternal. Let's play it. As always, just creating blank clips. The first track is just a sub. And you just have a shaper, which is really ducking a lot here, pretty much working like a trance gate here. As you can see, it goes from 0 to -infinity here with utility. So in fact, we are just using quarter notes here, and we're playing D sharp too. So we can add lots of D sharps. Let's just go down to C sharp for the last note here. We can duplicate this pattern and do a turnaround. This time we're going F sharp and E. It sounds like this. And then. So let's maybe copy this pattern onto the bass track. Here we also have shaper. It would sound like this without it. But we want twice as fast notes. So I'm just going to select this pattern, divide it by 2, and duplicate this section. Do the same thing over here, and same over here, and also dividing this little note. So let's play it with the sub. Alright, so let's play everything together now. That would be the entire bassline over here. Really simple, but effective in the genre. Alright, I hope you found these bassline techniques useful. Make sure to check out our Music Production Academy with lots of start to finish courses on making tracks in various genres. And if you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out the Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course. If you're looking to learn writing tracks a bit more in depth, make sure to see the Music Theory for Melodic Techno and House course, which gives you all the knowledge you need for writing professional sounding tracks. To see all of that, check the video description. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, write a comment, and I will see you in the next ones.